which Papa Smithy gets his wish immediately, well, almost immediately. As soon as we get into champions like Lulu is going to hit the bench as Nidalee, LeBlanc, and Lulu are going to be banned for Royal Club, and Rengar and Jan are going to be banned away from EDG. So we'll see what EDG decide to ban as their final option here. It is going to be the very standard Lissandra there, as Rek'Sai going to be left open, and Insect going to be more than happy to take that one into the jungle.
I find the Lissandra ban really interesting. It seems almost a bit of a throwaway ban. Ban the Ahri. Already Korn showed good performance on that. Pawn can play it, but definitely not a centerpiece of his champion pool. Lissandra, we haven't seen much success or even much picks of Lissandra come through. Yeah. And seeding away their Rek'Sai, it just doesn't seem necessary.
Well, EDG do have the opportunity to pick away the Ahri if they feel like it. See what they do decide to go with. Of course, they have so many different game plans. We talk about this as being it hops on the Corki if he feels like it, and they have heaps of mid-game strength. Koro, he can go back to the Maokai now if he feels like as well. And
these will be the picks.
Yeah, and that's exactly what their mid-game option. And there's no way that Royal Club can use what they learnt in the last series to do anything about this.
There's so much synergy between Corki and Maokai. Both hit their peak in the mid-game. Death's Corki, just unbelievable on this champion. The Trinity Force power spikes, the fact that he always groups when he has that through. Rumble is the insta-lock coming through from Godlike, showing us something a little bit different. Maokai's taken away. Suddenly a bit more of a damage roll comes on to Godlike, and the Nami is also picked up.
Yeah, Zero going to pick away that Nami from Mako. And this could set up a potential hyper carry lane. That's exactly what Nami's beautiful at providing, and
they're going to be against an intense mid-game comp Atlas.
Oh, exactly. And Clearlove back on the Lee Sin. 7th game. We'll see whether it's going to make it 7 wins on that champion here for Clearlove. Name, looking at what champion to pick, I would not be surprised if it's the Jinx. I would be very surprised if it's the Misfortune.
I mean, both of those are very difficult. So much pick power, so much lockdown already picked away. Will it be the Varus? Will he just go and do complete rewind and say, you saw my Twitch, didn't really work out, my Varus, probably my most effective champion next to the Twitch. This would be a lock-in, but nope, it's going to be Kog'Maw.
Yeah, the Kog'Maw Nami lane. Pretty fishy there in the bottom side of the map, especially if you go with a particular Kog'Maw skin. But EDG, time to round out the lineup as Pawn looking for a mid lane champion. And what are they doing to our hearts, Papa Smithy, hovering all of these incredible champions?
Pawn played it at the World Finals.
He did. He
Pawn loves the Katarina. I can't see it being the pick this game. Wouldn't it be exciting?
Luca, who also played Akali in that tournament, if you remember. So
maybe we shouldn't use that as a touchstone then. Lupa's Akali, definitely a thing of the past. Have not seen that this season. They're considering their options.
They are. Katarina into our... That's locked in. Katarina is locked in for Pawn in the mid lane. And this has all of a sudden become the most ridiculous mid-game teamfighting comp I've ever seen.
So they gave Pawn the Veigar when he wanted it, but you have to think the comms were saying, I will play the Katarina, and Clearlove was saying, you know, in English, of course, because they'd be he'd be saying, but I'm 6-0 on the Lee Sin.
It's Pawn just trying to get Clearlove back, saying, Clearlove, look, you're going to have to take a loss at some point, and you'll have to deal with it. Let's not deal with it in playoffs. Let's deal with it right. That's not true. That is not true. Because
as far as we know, that's not true.
I believe in Pawn. I believe in his ability to Katarina and Ahri. That matchup sounds horrific for Katarina. Godlike, though, is going to be trying to burn down the tree here in the top lane. Of course, Ackerman, when he was Ackerman in the NALCS, was playing that Rumble to great effect. Insect now in a very standard jungle matchup. Did manage to pick up the Rek'Sai, and that's a big deal. But this mid lane matchup, what the heck?
Pawn really likes the Katarina. Doesn't get to show it too often, but this is your mid lane matchup. Pushing advantage goes to Ahri. Assassination advantage goes to Ahri. DFG being removed works against the Katarina. It's fighting an uphill battle. But when we look at terms of things that can interrupt the ultimate, the Death Lotus, the Unburrow from Rek'Sai, definitely. The Charm, difficult to hit. The Nami skill shot's difficult to hit.
The Tidal Wave, not so difficult to hit.
That's very true. So they're going to have to hold on to that cooldown, because if they don't, the resets, it's a possibility.
Yeah, well, precisely. And if Katarina gets hold of a team fight, things can go horribly wrong.
They can, but this laning phase, to say it's going to be painful is an understatement. Just nothing Katarina can do.
Swap the mid lane?
I mean, that's a realistic option for Starhorn Royal Club. This is something they would have done. If this was Season 3, let's jump back 2 years ago while we have a bit of a pause at the start of the game. That would have been a realistic thing. Before the turret reinforcements came through, just stick your AD carry in mid, and Katarina, what can she do? She doesn't have a lot of wave clear. If she wants to max her W for a bit more wave clear, it's basically melee range wave clear. It's probably going to be just the 1v1 matchup, which is still horrible for Katarina in terms of getting through this lane. Doesn't have a lot of ability to push the wave. You know what she's hoping for? You know what Pawn is hoping for? Hoping for Clear Love to do his best Clear Love impression. That's right, his impression of himself from that 6-0 game, and just decide the game for him. It's going to take some titanic jungle pressure for Pawn to get through this laning phase against Korn, unless he's undoubtedly the best mid laner in China. Maybe he knows something about Katarina we don't, Atlas, but this looks like a really, really big, tough test for Pawn against this Ahri.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching Pawn just completely outplay in this whole game, just shumpoing over every single charm.
So just max the Foxfire then. Can't outplay that.
That is a very good point. I, in fact, learned and press that whenever there's any baddies near you.
Well, it was a
pretty
viable
good
strategy against someone who needs to get into melee range to do true damage trade. Just tickles you with the long-range Q coming out, the bouncing blades. I knew Pawn would eventually play Katarina this season because it's one of those situations where when you have Insec on your team, you're like, all right, you get one Shaco game a season, Insec, no more. Sometimes it's in a non-LPL competition, so I believe he played it in the outdoor games, the World Indoor Games last year against World Elite. He played the Shaco for Katie Roaster Bullets.
Okay, yep. He also played it and got Uzi a pentakill, if I seem to remember correctly, with a tower dive, tanked up a turret. He died. Insect died, but it got Uzi a pentakill. So that's pretty good.
So we haven't seen Insect's been quite well held. It hasn't shown the Shaco. You'd think in a 44-game season he'd find a time to break out the Shaco, especially when he had some of those sub-80 carries and the results weren't really going Starhorn Royal Club's way. But he's been restrained. Somehow Pawn's been unleashed. Given permission to play the Katarina.
And the Viger. And the all sorts of things.
I mean, he keeps winning on them. So if he wins on this champion, he's going to have bragging rights till the end of time. Don't worry about it, guys. Heimerdinger's in. Pastry time somewhere is really hoping that's what it gets to. But Pawn loves the Katarina. It's a pickup that he's hovered a few times, finally locked in, held on to it, played with our hearts, but is going to be playing it.
I was not expecting it.
I wasn't expecting it either, to be fair. I was like, what actually does fit this comp? And EDG assured me that it was Katarina, so that's what they pick away.
Yeah, difficult to agree with that fact going into an Ahri here in the mid lane.
It's a lot of magic damage as well, you have to say.
Yeah. And, of course, Korn showed a lot of mastery on that champion, and to pick it into a counter matchup, very tough. We'll see whether Royal Club can use this to their advantage because Name, he's on the hyper carry, the mega super hyper carry. If you're going to compare both of these AD carries, you'd say, yes, Kog'Maw does a heck of a lot more work towards the later stage of the game.
And look, I'd be reticent to call it a counter matchup, Atlas. Calling it a counter matchup implies that Katarina has multiple good matchups in the mid lane. Karthus, decent matchup for Katarina. Twisted Fate, decent matchup for Katarina. Everything else, not so good for
Lux
the Katarina
is okay
in lane.
for Katarina.
It's okay, but she can still push you in. Like, you just don't have a lot of options as Katarina, but we've all felt it in solo queue. If you navigate that laning phase, can be so explosive in fights, and you have to say, it's all on zero to stop this ultimate. Between the bubble and the more reliable ultimate with the Nami wave, those are the true ways they have to deal with it, apart from some difficult-to-hit skill shots or the flash unburrow coming through from Rek'Sai. Yeah,
well, exactly. We're looking at Insec here as well to do a lot of the work in trying to get this Katarina out of that Death Lotus, but you're not going to have Pawn just Death Lotusing as soon as he possibly can. He's not going to be like that player that just wants to get in amongst the team and immediately blow that ultimate. He's going to be patient. He's going to be waiting for his opportunities to get that down. And Katarina does a lot of damage with just the rest of her spells in a combo as well.
And it's worth noting, Ignite was the pickup from Zero. No exhaust. So look, if he does navigate, if he does play the waiting game, he's got the tools to succeed.
Yeah, it's true. Equalizer from Godlike might be helpful, though. We'll see whether he can put that down exactly where this Katarina is going to be Death Lotusing. That could be an option here. But it's looking quite dangerous for the lineup of Royal Club because last time we saw Pawn's Katarina, things went horribly wrong. But, ladies and gentlemen, let's get on to the Rift. And ladies and gentlemen, we are onto the Rift. The pause is over, and as is Godlike's life. First blood already gone down here for EDG. They caught out the Rumble towards the top side of the map. And it wasn't Pawn that got the kill, but he's got an assist.
But much better. Look who does have the kill.
Yeah.
It's the MVP of the early game. In just a couple of games ago, Clearlove's Lee Sin doesn't usually need kills to succeed, but he has one anyway.
Yep, and I have a feeling he's probably not going to stop there as well if we have anything to go by as far as what Clearlove has provided for us with this champion. He's been so incredibly good. Mako hanging out with Clearlove and Corey here as well towards this Grump, and we are going to have a lane swap to start things off.
The lane swap comes through. It's initiated by EDG. Very interesting. Corki does actually have a surprisingly poor laning phase against Kog'Maw, just because he's all about the phosphorus bomb auto trades. Kog'Maw, as he gets levels, and even from the first level, can just sit back, use the Biocane Barrage to farm. As he gets more points in that ability, the burst trades just aren't really a laning option for Corki, so he does actually tend to lose out as this laning phase goes on, so why not go for the lane swap? Still fantastically strong in a lane swap. Can swap when he gets closer to the Trinity Force, or just can look to rotate around the map and fast push some turrets. The jungle follows on, and the result, EDG vertically jungling at the top side of the map.
Yeah, both of the teams are going to be jungle following one another. Of course, in second, Godlike might have a little bit more consistent damage to the jungle here with the Flame Spitter there, adding a lot of AoE here to some of these.
But you remember, it does do reduced damage to minions. It's very low at level 1. The secret is to use it from the moment you spawn, just to ensure that you overheat on your first camp, just get you a bit of a fast clear, but it's just relative terms. He's not the best jungler as Rumble.
No, he's not. And you would definitely know that, being a Rumble jungler yourself.
All I learned was the skin name was quite deceptive, Atlas.
Rumble in the jungle. Royal Club now going for a very cheeky early dragon, noticing the fact that there's two members there in the top side of the map. Godlike going to be tanking this one up quite quickly, and Name utilizing that Bioarcane Barrage just to make sure that that dragon's taking as much damage as possible. Pawn is going to be able to pick up a cannon creep in the mid lane, which is one of the most exciting things to happen on this map at this current time as the dragon goes down. And Royal Club off to a great start.
Absolutely. They're the ones to get the early dragons, so they have the very early time. It took many more members. They didn't have a Nunu who can just be a bit obnoxious with the consume and tank it from very, very early. They knew that it's Pawn playing Katarina. There's no real scope for Pawn to push out this wave and have any sort of wave control in the mid lane. That's another thing you lose when you have this Katarina pick, is you don't have a lot of wave control, because again, your minion pushing requires a Q, some autos, a W, maybe another Q. Unfortunately, the counter pushing is mid to try and shut him down. As on our screen, EDG, they're 3-man strong.
Yeah, they're looking to make something happen. Zero hanging out with Korn here in the mid lane. You can see Pawn definitely trying to make use of that Doran shield that he's picked up earlier on, just to make sure that not too much is going to happen. But Twisted Advance onto Name here immediately flashes out of the way of the Death Sentence and turns around the damage here onto Koro. But these minions do not very little damage here in the early stages of the game. That was an awkward sentence.
How much damage was that? Sorry, Atlas?
Not very little.
Okay.
That's called a double negative, Papa Smithy. They are doing a fair bit of damage.
Absolutely, and they had to tank them. But blowing the flash is an important consideration for a no-escape AD carry like Name. It might not be preyed upon, but with this positioning, it may very well be. And
I like how you say that it's a no-escape AD carry like Name, because he's actually publicly said that you don't need escapes on an AD carry. He just throws little Voidoos in there just to say, yeah, I know you're in there, guys.
Actually, I don't think he knows they're in there.
Interesting. Doesn't have the Living Artillery, sorry, so can't actually check that brush with anything. Oh, Death Sentence lands on Name somehow. Clearlove, he's coming around here as well. No way that you're going to be flashing out of this one. And Koro picks up the second kill for EDG.
They were actually able to sneak into that bush. Of course, you don't get vision with the ooze. Didn't know they were there. Excellent use of the Death Sentences. In the mid lane, Pawn gets Korn very low, but has to flash away in respect of Insect.
Yeah, Insect did have the Flash on Burrow available if he wanted it, and definitely paying enough respect here as the Shumpo into the Bouncing Blades, and Korn have to be a little bit careful. Ignite's still available from Pawn.
So the build path from Pawn, you have to think will be the Abyssal Scepter. Whatever he does this game, he's going to be taking incidental magic damage from the Equalizer, from Korn, just the Foxfire, as we mentioned. You can dodge as many skill shots as you want. You're going to be taking magic damage. Name does a lot of magic damage. Abyssal Scepter will give him some pushing options because, of course, it reduces the magic resist of the lane minions. So it does give you a bit of push options, and it just gives you a very efficient build path as a no... Wow.
Yeah, there's actually the Death Load is coming through onto Insect. Doesn't take too much damage, but of course wasn't able to unburrow in time. This pawn just ignores the fact that there was a Dark Passage there, and Shumpo's to a ward in order to get further away.
Yeah, so will help his low wave clear. He's actually ahead in CS. Let's look at his eye. There's a no resource champion. Can definitely just pick up a Negatron and be happy. Or he could just be a beast and pick up the Blasting Run. You know that Null Magic Mantle will be working towards the eventual Abyssal.
Yeah, he wants to be able to grab that cape as quickly as possible. Pawn being the superhero Katarina that he is. Insec at half health here, not able to use any of that rage in order to get any of his health back. And EDG setting up another gank rush. Don't get spotted by that trinket ward, but they are still going to bail out.
Yes, between him and Name. The flash was one thing, but the kill as well. 25 CS advantage in a lane swap for Deft.
That is out of control. And level 6 here at the same time. Only 5 for Name at this stage. Can already be harassing Godlike a lot. There's the Aqua Prison onto Koro here, but he's just playing defensive duties. EDG, they want to take down this outer turret, and Godlike with it, as that was just all too easy. Clear Love, 66.66% kill participation. Pawn taking a lot of damage here in the river at the same time, but Shumpo's going to get him to safety, and Clear Love's Lee Sin, man.
Clear Love's Lee Sin is a scary proposition. EDG smart to rotate around. With Name, no flash. They knew he'd be anchored to the bottom lane. Only now pushing out the wave because, of course, no flash. Didn't want to try and overextend if anything happened. Noticed 5 members top, so was able to push out the wave. But EDG so good at rotating around their Corki. Their Corki comp is by far their scariest. Working towards the Trinity Force, but a Sheen for some burst trades because, hey, he's got the gold.
Yeah, may as well. Pick up that Sheen if you feel like it. Haunting Guys is going to be the first option here for Godlike, though, on the other side of the Rift. And we do have a Phage picked up from Name. He wants to make sure that he's got as much mobility as he possibly can. Not too far behind in this farm. And, of course, Kog'Maw going to be fantastic towards the later stages of the game. But we're looking towards this mid lane pawn. Now you can see very tanky. Must have some health for level runes or something like that going on, because he's got a lot of health here in this mid lane and has a 4 CS advantage in a melee versus ranged matchup.
Yes, magic resist blues. It looks like health per level. Could even be flat health, a health per level mixture in the yellows. Maxing Q, so it'll be the Bouncing Blade max first. Not going to be the W, but makes sense, of course. The Sinister Steel max only really against another melee champion. Against a ranged champion, have to match the Bouncing Blades.
Yeah, got to make sure that you have as much harass as you possibly can in lane. Make use of the fact that you don't have any mana, and you are just gated by cooldowns alone. And not even by them, more often than not, in a team fight, because of course those resets are going to be coming through thick and fast if things are going correctly.
So
Zero's dead.
He got hooked and then died.
Yeah.
Like instantly.
Yeah, it's a death sentence. That's it's what it's called, Papa Smithy. That's it's what it's about, is Name. Going to take a Phosphorus Bomb here as well. Doesn't have a lot of mana. As Godlike, he's also going to die. And Royal Club are just getting picked apart across the map.
I mean, again, this brush, the closest brush, needs to be watered in the bottom lane. First, Name dies to it. Then the hook comes into Zero. That's a death brush. Not usually a death brush in competitive play. But Name's had to stay so far back. There's the release coming from Insect, but the Dark Passage is available.
Yep, just takes a Lantern Ride and gets out of there. Name trading a lot of his health in that one, is trying to bait out for Insect, who's going to burrow up and try and find some Prey Seekers, but Deft is just no fear at all in this way.
Deft's Corki. I tell you, it does more damage than my Corki Atlas.
Yeah, no, it does. It does more damage than any
I've
other
had those
Corki
items before. I don't remember exploding
yeah.
I almost said a Nami. Yes, a Nami, who's with Name. That's not confusing. Don't worry.
You can basically say that in reference to both of these bot lane champions. No problem at all. That's just so frustrating. I can't believe that Zero started playing Nami as soon as that happened. Deft, though, taking a lot of damage. Aqua Prison going to land here as well. Living Artillery breaks the heal coming down from EDG, but Deft is going to survive. Mako going very aggressively, but because, of course, Clear Love, he's here. He gets knocked up, taking a lot of damage back here as well. Insect, of course, does have those double long swords. He's doing some damage there on this Rek'Sai.
And Name can still do a lot of damage from long range. It has to respect the damage potential. Really wanted to get the assassination, but good collapse coming through from Starhorn Royal Club presents that happening. Second Dragon is available, and with low health members, in fact, already back shopping towards the Trinity Force is Corki. It could be a second Dragon rush coming through from Starhorn Royal Club.
Yeah, and Abyssal Scepter has been completed here by Pawn, though. He's got a lot of grouped up members. Clearlove, he's landed the Sonic Wave, looking to go in on this one. It's Pawn. He's already in there. They've managed to take down the Dragon, but Pawn, he's getting the resets. A double kill already, as that's going to be the third. My goodness, this is ridiculous as EDG clean up the fight. Korn finally takes down Pawn, but that's probably about all this Katarina needed.
And there's another statistic that's worth mentioning. That was a 3v5 coming through from EDG. Def just gets back to lane. Malco wasn't even interested. Didn't show up, didn't even have the teleport. All the low health members, they certainly didn't pick up the second dragon. But man, they get Katarina going.
Yeah, that's the thing. And get Katarina going. Clearlove's 3-0-4 now. Has Ninja Tabi and his Warrior Enchantment there as well on his Trailblazer. More than happy just farming up this jungle, although right now flashing on health. Those Raptors definitely dangerous. We say it every single time. They've taken many a life in competitive League of Legends. 5,000 gold now the lead for EDG. And I don't know how they're making it work, but this Katarina in the mid lane is starting to go off. 5,000
gold lead with an obvious disadvantage in mid lane at the minimum in terms of wave clear, but still shouldn't be able to stand up in trades against the Ahri. EDG are out of this world. They rotate so well with the Corki. We knew that before. The Katarina, just another question mark. It can come out at any time. And the funny thing about EDG is they don't have one-offs, do they? They do pick out these champions a second time.
And Insec, he's hanging around Godlikes here as well. They're looking to try and get Name further ahead in this game, but Mako just playing back far enough to know that he can use that Dark Passage to get this Corki to safety, and Deft can play a little bit further. There's the flash into the flame. Nami taking a lot of damage. The Aqua Prison, though, and that's going to be immediately the Nami. Actually, Nami just dying from Clearlove. Clearlove somehow still alive. Deft auto-attacking Insect here on the backline. Godlike trying to finish off the Lee Sin, but he's not dead. And 4R for Royal Club. What the heck is EDG doing?
How did Katarina get there before Korn? Korn was the first to react, then went back towards the mid lane and watches all his teammates die. The graveyard in bottom for Starhorn Royal Club, perhaps their playoff graveyard as well, as a lot of their hopes are fading. 12-2 with Katarina not even involved in the engage. Trinity forces the pickup for Deft. EDG, there's something else.
It's just insane to watch here. And if we sort of take a step, let's not take a step back.
Let's go straight back in. Just like Mako with the flash engage. Remember, everyone's in position. Ahri and Katarina, you can see on the minimap. Cat gets there faster, but Ahri can't get there to impact the fight. Clearlove lives so long. Finally had enough energy to take the Resonating Strike. Godlike's like, my kingdom for a couple more units forward. Couldn't get there. And this is all without the Katarina even getting involved.
Yeah, Katarina threw one Bouncing Blade in that fight, I think, just to say, yeah, I'm here, guys. Don't worry, I rotated for you. But that was just all the 3 EDG members just playing so beautifully, and Clearlove didn't die. Okay.
And the big thing is that even though Korn caught... Well, the big thing is we're going to keep going.
Yeah, Nami actually getting caught out here on the bottom side. Death Sentence is definitely living up to its name here in the hands of Mako, as they're not even going to try and take down this turret. They're looking for more kills. Pawn coming down does have the Shumpo, but Sonic Wave not going to land from Clearlove, and you have to think that that could have been a flash kick to come through.
But a small story of that engage that was caught on the minimap but was off camera. That was a charm hitting onto Cat, but with the Abyssal Scepter, there's no kill pressure coming through from Korn. They were both able to rotate bottom, both of them not involved in the trade. But this should be a lane that Korn is winning, and he certainly is not.
Oh, no, and that's a 2 CS advantage here for the Katarina, and it's got to come through from Clearlove just having so much control over the jungle and Korn being forced to play defensively.
Why does he not play the Lee Sin more often? He looks like he's going to go 7-0, 6-0-4.
This is his 7th game, man. He's played a lot of Lee Sin.
Okay, but there's been like 32 games in the LPL. That's a lot more Lee Sin we could have seen. It hasn't been banned against him that often. Only seen about 3 or 4 bans. But his Lee Sin is out of this world.
It's ridiculous. 6-0-4. Definitely living up to all of the hype that we were giving it. But go back and watch that other game, ladies and gentlemen, because I have to say that that was equally as incredible. Korra going to be able to clear out this mid lane, and haven't really seen much of the tanky tree, but 2-0-6, definitely doing well.
He's got the early game items. He hasn't been able to finish anything. Happy with intermediate pickups. Got the double Doran, so wasn't really rushing towards the Catalyst. It's actually double Ruby, just double Ruby Crystal into what has now become the Catalyst and the Spirit Visage. Even more magic resist. He's just going early game because I think EDG think they can roll over Starhorn Royal Club around the 20-minute mark.
And is that something that they're going to be forced to do here as well? Because you don't really want to go into the late game with the likes of Name on a side, no matter who you are. And EDG, they know this about Name.
But there's already huge gold leads coming through. It's 2,000 gold the advantage over Name's Cogmore for this Corki. I mean, look, in the late game, I can't really even hand it over to Starhorn Royal Club. There's no Lulu, so the Cogmore's going to be very defensively positioned. It's hard to say what the damage potential is coming through from Katarina. We've all seen the highlight videos. We've all played Katarina and felt the reset potential coming through. There's a lot of damage potential coming through from Katarina. High risk, though, of course. The reliability of the Katarina is quite low. Some fights, if she can get everything off, will get a pentakill. Other fights will be interrupted and just focused down early. Probably going to be in the Zhonya's, just for a stasis option in the next fight. In the late game, you'd hand it over to Starhorn Royal Club, but not a massive lead, and certainly not to reflect what is now an 8,000 gold lead at 16 minutes for EDG.
An 8,000 gold lead at 16 minutes is absolutely ridiculous. We do have to remember the fact that Royal Club did manage to pick up a couple of dragons here as well. Is going to be up for the third time, I believe, in a couple of seconds. Clearlove just going to start that one off there with a Sonic Wave.
That's going to take this bottom turret, but actually look at him. He's not even interested in taking the bottom turret. Just looking to deny as many resources from Name as possible.
Yeah, and Mako hanging out here as well. Descent's not going to find its mark as Name was wandering up towards that Zero with the mobility boots, just going to fish his way around, and that's going to be the first dragon picked up from EDG and Royal Club. With their two going to be sitting pretty here at the same time. Godlike just going to pop down some wards, and Koro just going to have a little bit of a battle with him as he's forcing the flash over the wall.
I mean, that's just respecting the potential of Lee Sin being there. He was there every other time, but very, very defensive flash as the minions take down the last fifth of their health on the turret. No auto attacks coming through from Deft whatsoever. Just deny Name any farm. Now 50 CS ahead.
Oh, Mako looking for the hook as Clearlove coming through here as well. Out of turret. Oh my goodness, that big one did so much damage to Zero. That was ridiculous.
Zero, how much magic resist? Sitting on 30 magic resist. You're against a Trinity Force Sorcerer's Shoes. Close to true damage. Rockets coming through. Yep, doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, a lot of damage. Confirmed. Pup Smithy on the stream right now. Prey Seeker also going to be finding some targets, but that's nowhere near the poke damage that's this Deft Corki is capable of. Almost called Corki Deft.
I did it during the pre-match. I mean, he plays him so often. He's so damn good at the champion.
Yeah, well, it's almost like saying cool and Ari in the same sentence. Very, very similar. This time, it is going to be Korn, though, as Koro
Godlike's level 8.
Yeah, and you might be looking at being level 8 for a little bit longer, as you don't get very much experience from the Death Chamber. There are a lot of EDG members towards this top side, this inner turret, in a lot of trouble. Insec and Clearlove have found one another here in the jungle. Insec actually still getting enough respect to convince Clearlove to leave. Deft and Name chilling out here in the mid, as this tower doesn't have too much left on it.
Blue buff is stolen away, so no blue buff available for Korn. Does already have Melanomicon, does have some cooldown reduction, so it doesn't necessarily going to be as gated by the blue buff as if you've gone for a more offensive build. But look, it's going to be less wave clear, and it's going to allow Pawn just more time to farm in this lane. Ahead 16 CS. That's not the laning matchup, that's just all the pressure that EDG have been able to put out as a unit.
Yeah, that's just the whole team here as well. Even rotating around to that top lane, picking up a bunch of farm there. Deft now in the bottom side, getting all the farm that he needs. That's almost a 60 CS lead of Deft over Name. Disgust.
I mean, this is nowhere for Name to farm. That's the big thing. That's why you saw him not trying to auto-attack the turret. Name's just scurrying around. He went to mid, watched the turret fall down in front of him, went to bottom lane, gets denied hard by the Corki. Deft knows what he's doing on AD carry. It's unfair to compare the two in these series because it's been such a team effort, but Deft's been so on point. 107 is an assist AD carry this game to begin with, but
that's because Clearlove has been getting every single kill on the map. It's ridiculous.
Just padding his KDA on his undefeated champion. I mean, who can blame him?
Yeah, I definitely want to be looking up the Clearlove Lee Sin statistics over this season after this, because
there's a real chance that Clearlove could have a 10 KDA for the season. He's at 9.1, and this is only going to help.
Yeah. Even in the last game,
for
didn't
a
die too often.
44-game season.
Oh my goodness. EDG, though, they are standing on a ward, are going to be able to clear that one out as it does get swept. EDG, though, with just so much control. Not too much deep vision, but not too worried about it at this stage, you have to think. Easily able to clear out all of the vision in the river. Any objective that they're looking for. This outer turret in the mid lane going to be the next option. A lot of wave clear to come through from Royal Club means that it's going to be a little bit more difficult from a lot of the melee members of EDG to close on this. Of course, their siege is actually horrific, isn't it?
I mean, they have a lot of poke coming through from Corki, but it's pretty much a one-man siege, barring but the occasional sapling coming through. They're turret taking. They've got a Katarina. She's not a lot of help in taking turrets. They only really have dive, which they're not really in a position to do. Although with the positioning of Maokai, you never know.
Yeah, there's the Righteous Glory. Actually flashes onto Godlike there as well. He manages to get down the equalizer, but instantly dies. The first reset for Pawn coming through here, as well as Royal Club are turning their tails and fleeing from this one. Korn still at full health. Might be an opportunity to go in there as Pawn. He's quite low. Mako definitely low. But that is a 1-for-0 trade. As Clearlife, he gets the kick on Aname, immediately flashes out of it. Descent's not going to find his mark as 0. Takes so much damage from Def. Koro as well, just tanking up Name for days as Pawn gets the resets. But Korn doing a lot of damage here in this fight. Evaporates. Where was he?
Well, it's worth mentioning that when Pawn gets in there, he's doing true damage on Corki to a lot of these members with the magic just showed, at least Tsunami, as we mentioned. Equalizer try and get some turret health. He's going to keep it healthy, but man, you can see Def. He has no respect for Godlike whatsoever.
Well, Godlike 1-6-1. He's got the Leandri's Torment. He's going for the Equalizer bot build, and of course he is a robot, so it's sort of thematically correct, but it's not going to be helping him too much as he tries to clear out these minions, and this Rumble is just put so far behind. And
it's an Equalizer-centric build against 5 champions with hyper-mobility. Okay, the Twisted Advance, not quite the same as the Safeguard, as the Katarina Shunpo, as the Corki Valkyrie, and all of Thresh's CC. But no one's going to be sitting in an Equalizer unless we see another incredibly strong turret dive come through from EDG.
I'm just speechless, to be perfectly honest. 8-0-6 for this Lee Sin. 18-4 is the kill score. It's a 12,000 gold lead at 23 minutes into this game. EDG, I don't know what... I feel like Starhorn Royal Club said something to them. As we see in the bottom lane, Name's going to die.
He face-checked Def to Mako, and that didn't go so well for him. 1-6-3. You run out of superlatives to EDG. 25-5 coming into this series. Going to be 27-5. I don't see how they can come back here, Starhorn Royal Club. Make me look like a fool. Come back. I'd be so impressed. But there's just nothing looking good for them apart from Korn, who's got quite a lot of AP.
Yeah, quite a lot of AP. That's the understatement of the century. Of course, I guess not really so much, because he's got a lot of tanky stats here as well. I mean, he's got the armor from the Zhonya's. He's got the magic resist from the Abyssal Scepter. He's got his... boots there as well as Godlike. He might be dead yet again. Blade of the Ruined King was popped from Deft. He gets the slow, tanks the turret for about 15 years and walks out.
Yep. 5-0-10. The assist keeping down his KDA. The zoom in onto the robot's a bit rude, honestly. Please calm down, Observer.
It's okay. No, because Rumble wasn't actually there. That was just his bot. We didn't zoom in on the Rumble. There was no BM. Name actually going aggressive here onto Mako. Doesn't actually find the players. Clearlove, he's just going to kick 0 for what the heck was that? As Pawn comes in for the damage. Charm doesn't land. As there's the Zhonya's from Pawn looking to get his cooldowns back off there, as well as 0 trying to bait forward here. But Pawn just takes no damage.
And Pawn's just kind of standing there accepting the damage because it buys time for an objective to come down. Maokai wasn't interested. Didn't even bother to teleport. Stays in the top lane. As Insec... I guess he just picks up his blue buff.
Yeah, Insect's sort of an absentee in a particular trade there, but I mean, what was he going to do? I mean, they were going to lose that inner turret. That was going to happen. And engaging a fight seems like a really bad idea.
EDG are just a really good team. 27-5 in a 32 games is already a wonderful score for them. 3 assists and a loss to Snake, looking like a long time ago in week 2 of the season. Clearlove's Lee Sin has been wonderful this game. Deft's Corki, it's pretty much what you write on the box. When you say Deft's Corki, you know this turret's going to come down. 4-0 is the turret score. He's got a lot of assists. I don't know if he's going to be happy about that, to be the only double-digit assist person on his team. But he's already got a Last Whisper. 3-item Corki against the Trinity Force and the Bilge Water coming out from Name. There's just nowhere safe on the map from all the assassination potential of this EDG side, because they've got about 3-4 assassins at this point.
Yeah, it's 1.5 items versus 3 items as far as that AD carry position is concerned. And even an Elixir of Iron being picked up from Deft. He wants to be the biggest Corki that we have ever seen. But
Heimerdinger rigging up his machine, adding some extra size to it.
He's going to be able to take down that red buff there as well. And Haunting Guy's now completed from Pawn. He knows that there hasn't been very many opportunities for anyone on Royal Club to complete. Oh my goodness, was it going to land? No, it's not. But Pawn, he's here. He finds Insec, who takes a couple of tunnels, and that looked like he was extraordinarily scared.
It looked like he was having a lot of fun, though.
Yeah, that's true. Like a water slide.
It's the little things in these games, unfortunately. It's 4-21, 15,000 gold at 26 minutes.
Oh my goodness, Rek'Sai skin idea.
Okay,
the water slide construction Rek'Sai?
So it's going to be Pool Party Rek'Sai, is what you're saying?
Pool Party Rek'Sai, that's probably a better name for it, I have to admit. I'm so glad that you're here for
I'm the ideas. You're the ideas, man. I've just got to refine it. Marketing coming through from Papa Smithy.
Oh, I'm looking forward to the Pool Party Rek'Sai. Although, would she wear a bikini or something? Like, how would that work?
Just try and keep it reserved, you know. Be classy about it, Atlas.
Oh, yeah, no, most definitely keeping it classy. I'm just trying to work out, you know, what the proper bathing attire for Void Monsters is.
You have to ask her.
Yeah, I will. I'll have a chat. Orbit Deception going to find Deft, but they're easily going to be able to take down that turret. That Sheen proc from the Trinity Force doing some work. EDG just seem to be taking whatever they want at this stage. 16,000 gold is almost the lead.
That is a big earth.
Yeah. That is... Whoa. Thank goodness he's in the river. It's kind of like a whale. There, the flash is going off. The equalizer goes down. Koro burning down here as Pawn. He looks for the Death Lotus, has to flash forward, but there are the resets, and everyone melts from Royal Club. Name somehow survived. No, he didn't. That was a Cathian surprise, of course. Everything's going to be a bit delayed. And EDG flashing towards the Nexus.
And who makes it to the picture but the noble, massive Deft on the Elixir of Iron Corki. Not much to say about that game, Atlas. That's why we devolved into a bit of comedy, because it was just awkward for Star Royal Club. A team that on the up, remember, they picked up the 2-0 to start last week, but their start to this week could not have gone worse, as they were dismantled by Ed Woodgame.
Completely dismantled in that game, and something must have sort of got into Royal Club there, because, of course, by about halfway through that game, it was all over, and Clearlove...
809.
809, man. His KDA is going out of control in general, but I want to see it on Lee Sin, because I don't know. I've ran out of even.
7-0, 809, 17 to be added to that KDA number, and no deaths. I'm going to have to inspect the numbers. If it really is a 9.1 KDA, which is monstrously high for a guy who's only missed 2 games, it's going to be close to 10.
It is most definitely going to be close to 10 after that performance. But ladies and gentlemen, that's all we have for you tonight on the LPL. We will be back tomorrow, but on behalf of myself, Papa Smithy, Pastry Time, and our whole production crew, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.